Week one, ticket one. I did just drop my first premium ticket over my premium Discord. I'm going to be sharing it with you guys here for free on the channel. Talking about some profitable plays. We've been just crushing, finding edges so far early on in the season. Yesterday, play of the day, I leaked it again on my X. If you have not followed me on X, guys, I've been doing this a lot recently. Leaking, my VIP premium play of the day, breaking down the process, talking about these edges that I'm finding, the same stuff that I talk about in this content. It really does work. Was able to find this one yesterday using the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, again, a tool you'll be hearing me talk about throughout this content. You'll be hearing me talk about multiple softwares, but these concepts, finding these edges, everybody thinks that you have a 50-50 chance to win, whether you're taking the over or the under. I'm here to tell you, if that is you and you are learning how to profit on these apps, that is not the case. If you're looking to learn how to actually make money on these apps, you have come to the right channel. Hit the notification bell right now so you don't miss any future content that I upload. These props, when they are profitable, when you have an edge, they're going to change quickly, guys. They are going to change quickly. I'm constantly giving out these edges on the channel for free. I'm constantly giving out actual premium content plays of mine for free. I am backing my own plays with my process. I am breaking down how to actually profit. I'm going to have 4 plays for you in this one, 4 profitable plays. But one of them is a free square. So it's really, it's going to be a 3-pick power entry that I did lock in with my premium content members. It is the very first ticket that I locked in. I want to tell you, by the time you see this video, there's a solid chance the props are either going to be moved from the line that I got them at with the edge or removed. I can't control that. All I can do is give you guys profitable plays, teach you the process, right? Not only am I going to provide you with free content with profitable plays, but I'm also going to explain the process, talk about the softwares I use, etc. So if you're someone who wants to, go and find your own profitable plays, I'm being very transparent as far as the process. The first one's going to be Lamar Jackson over 0.5 passing yards. Obviously, this is a promo. I'm not a genius for promoting this, but if you're someone that's just getting Prizepicks and you don't know they run these promos, I do want you to know they do have this available. So if one of the plays gets removed, I'm going to give you guys 3 other standard props with my own analysis. If one of the plays gets removed, you know what I mean? You could just pop in the Lamar Jackson free square. You got a nice 3-pick power entry with, profitable plays in it. So Prizepicks, if you don't have Prizepicks, they'll give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5, guys. So take advantage of that. Take advantage using the links down below. I'll have them pinned as the top comment, and I will have them in the description for a bunch of different sign-up offers. The other thing I do want to mention is now through midnight on Monday, I'm going to continue this 25% off my premium packages. Once the clock hits midnight on Monday after Monday Night Football, these deals are done, right? So 25% off with the code NFL25. I do have them auto-applied, though, so if you visit my Patreon, my premium content packages, link below, you should just have to click the join button. You should automatically get that discount, as you can see displayed. That'll knock off 25%. Get you in the Discord, give you these instant notifications. If you're someone that's like, why do I need to pay you money? Why do I need to get in this Discord when you're giving out free videos? I'm going to keep saying it. Unfortunately, when you're finding profitable plays, they're going to change quickly, right? So I'm about to break down 3, the very first ticket that I played, but up until Sunday kickoff, there's a chance these plays get removed. I'm sorry that happens, guys, but the reason it's happening is because I'm providing you with actual value, actual plays that are going to actually make you money on these apps, actual profitable strategies. The same strategy that I used to find my play of the day yesterday. I mean, this Herbert rushing prop absolutely smashed. The night before, I provided same thing. I leaked my play over there on X. It was the over 1.5 rushing and receiving touchdowns on Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Massive edge on that prop, absolutely smashed. So it's the same process of finding these edges. We're going to break it down. And I'll go play-by-play in my ticket. I usually go by start time, but this time we'll just go play-by-play in my ticket that I did provide over there, game by game. And the first game we're going to start things off with in this video is going to be the San Francisco 49ers Seattle Seahawks game, and we will start on the defensive side of the ball. Prizepicks last year didn't have the tackles and assist props on their board. It does look like they've brought them back, which makes me very happy because I've been able to find a lot of edges on these tackles and assist props. And the first one we're going to talk about, I was able to discover very quickly using the Outlier tools, guys. Outlier, phenomenal tool. If you do not have it, you need to get it. 7 days completely free with my link down below. I have the Outlier Pro plan. That's going to give you the Plus EV tool that I have pulled up here. We're getting minus 138 to VIG odds on this, factoring in DraftKings, Caesars, and BetOnline. 3 very sharp multi-million-dollar sports books. If you don't know what this means, guys, This is what I explain on the channel. If you're listening to this content, you're already ahead of 99% of people as far as how to actually profit on these player props apps. Prizepicks has a price associated with each entry type that you put in, right? So you're going to get charged a price per prop on each entry type that you put in. So in a 3-pick power, I've been doing a lot of 3-pick powers because people like the least amount of picks because it's easier to hit, a least amount of picks. And a 3-pick power has the best odds. So me teaching people how to actually profit on these apps, the 3-pick power entry, you're getting really, really good odds. So you can profit, long-term, getting 6x payouts and finding profitable plays. So the first one's going to be the Nick Bosa over 3.5 tackles and assists. This is a phenomenal prop. We're looking at a 6.48% VIG here calculated. We have DraftKings, once again, at -143. Caesars at -130. BetOnline at -143. They're telling us we're getting -119 on Prizepicks because if we were to lock this in a 5 or 6 pick flex, that is what we're getting. So they're giving us our best odds. Keep in mind, we're getting -122. But essentially, as long as you're playing a 6-pick flex, a 5-pick flex, a 6-pick power, a 3-pick power, a 5-pick power, or a 4-pick flex, you're getting around -120, right? -122 and -119 are very close. Once you get into the 4-pick power, the 2-pick power, the 3-pick flex, you're getting a big difference as far as the price you're getting charged. So I'd recommend playing any of the ticket types, ranked 1 through 3 on my list here of entry types ranked best to worst for long-term profit. And if you're someone that likes, less picks, which is the common feedback I get on the channel, like people like less picks. It's just easier to hit more consistently on a daily basis so they feel better about themselves going into the next day when they hit, all their picks screened out. You can profit. As long as you're playing these plays and getting profitable plays, you can profit no matter what. But with the less amount of picks, the 3-pick power entry is going to be, your go-to, which you're getting -122. Keep in mind, guys, all of these other multi-million-dollar sports books, Sleeper has them at -161, Underdog -159, -143, -143, -130. So easy math, like Sleeper, you're going to have to risk $161 to win $100 to take the over 3.5 tackles. All we care about on this channel is we're taking the side that's more likely to win, right? That's all we care about. And the side that's more likely to win is the over in this case. That's why they're charging that high price, right? Once again, 6.48% edge here with the VIG. We look at the underlying statistics as well. I get asked this all the time. The beautiful thing about Outlier is not only do they offer, the market data. That's what I'm looking at. That's what I find the most valuable. I'm talking about it all the time. You guys can use these tools however you see fit because they bring in so much data. They also do bring in these insights. Nick Bosa has exceeded 3.5 tackles in 5 of his last 6 games, averaging 4 tackles and assists per game. So he's got an 83% hit rate. These books know this though, right? They know that on average he's ending with 4 tackles per game, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to set him at 3.5 and they're going to charge a higher price to take the over. That's what all these books are doing. -143 on DraftKings. You're going to have to risk $143 to win $100 on DraftKings. If you're someone that's multi-million-dollar data pumped into these lines. Like if you're someone that's watched any football game, any basketball game, any program out there, you've seen a DraftKings commercial. DraftKings makes money by setting these price tags appropriately and not letting their users beat them too bad. They have to set these prices and make you risk more so that over the long term they can make money. That's just kind of how it works in simple terms. So there's a reason they are saying you're going to have to risk $143 to 100 to take the over. They're saying it's so much more likely he goes over. Keep in mind, we just want the side that's more likely to win, and we want to be getting a good price. We're getting -122. We should be having to pay upwards of -140. So this is a crazy good prop on Nick Bosa. And like I say, people ask, what kind of actual research do you do? All of these statistics, all of these things behind the scenes are baked into these prices. That's what you need to understand. This is the data that Prizepicks uses on their back end. This is how Prizepicks changes. You're going to notice a lot of my props get changed, after I promote them. There's a reason for that. It's because they're profitable strategies. When you are a smart person and you know this stuff, that 99% of people don't know, you can beat Prizepicks before they can change the lines. So that's what we do here on the channel. And then if we want to get even more detail-oriented, OddsJam, another software that I'm using, guys, this is their sportsbook screen. I find this tool very valuable. Once again, 35% off, link down below. If you like any of these softwares, I'm just going to walk you through how I use them. And then if you want to use them yourself, you can. Also, if you're like, this is way too much, these all cost a lot of money. I'm not going to lie to you. That's why I offer the premium Discord. Like, you got stuff going on in your life. You don't want to have to worry about having to hunt down and find these plays. I do it for you, and I take it very seriously. I'm charging people monthly to find the best plays. So when I break down the process on the channel, like, I take this stuff seriously, right? I'm looking through all of this data. I'm looking through all this multi-million-dollar sportsbook data. I'm trying to find the best of the best of the best for my members. They're paying me monthly. I need to take this seriously. So we go to Nick Bosa. We'll find him here. You can see the best possible place you can be taking this. I have 292 sportsbooks selected. So every single possible place that's listing Nick Bosa is pulled in here on the OddsJam sportsbook screen. That's why I find this tool valuable. And as we scroll across here, you're going to see minus 143 on the over, minus 143, minus 152 over here on Underdog. You got minus 134, minus 143 on DraftKings, minus 119 once again. 3.5 average odds of minus 128.6. Keep in mind, once again, we are getting minus 122. So we're getting a steal on the price. We should be having to pay at least minus 128.6 average odds across the market. And keep in mind, DraftKings, once again, very good at what they do, man. Has this listed as minus 143. They've had it listed upwards of, minus 143, minus 150, even at points. Minus 155 17 hours ago. So, they're definitely favoring this prop very heavily. And then once again, the outlier EV tool, probably a tool I haven't shown off enough on the channel, because if you get this pro plan, once again, you can devig, bring in all of those sports books very quickly, and get straight to the point to go along, once again, with odds movement. So you can see, once again, DraftKings, BetOnline, Caesars, all moving towards that minus 143 price tag. Great prop. Long story short, great prop. Joey Bosa, love the prop. So we talked about the Lamar Jackson free square. Like I say, I just want you guys to know that that prop is available. But as far as the first prop with my actual analysis, the tackles and assist tab is where you will go. You will go down to the 425 start time here, and you will be going to Mr. Nick Bosa. I keep saying Joey Bosa or something. Nick Bosa. I think I was saying Joey. I don't know. Anyways, Nick Bosa, over 3.5 tackles and assists. Count over in last 5. I don't care about that. But what I do care about is the multi-million-dollar sportsbook data, the profitable strategies, right? All that stuff that I'm constantly talking about here on the channel over on my X. Once again, I'm going to continue to say follow me over there. I'm going to try to give out even more free value over on the X. Finding these good plays. And then last but certainly not least, we can pull them into the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. Another tool I'm using, guys. 25% off in the link down below. This is the tool that you saw me posting on those X posts with, finding the edge. Once again, a 3.09% edge here. So we have a 3.09% chance higher of winning. And keep in mind, though, this is only 1, 2, 3, 4 data points. So they're gonna tell you the data they're bringing in here. And we do have DraftKings minus 143, BetMGM, Underdog, and Flip is the data they're pulling in here for that 3.09% edge. So we just talked about those other softwares, though, and how there's even more data points telling us. The DraftKings minus 143 is the one that's really standing out to me, though. We're getting minus 122. DraftKings, very good at what they do. You're going to have to pay way more, so I love that play. Play number 2, we're going to head to the Miami Dolphins game here. We'll be going to the Miami Dolphins taking on the Indianapolis Colts. And we'll be talking about Mr. Jalen Waddle here, the wide receiver 2 behind Tyreek Hill in this Miami Dolphins offense. And we'll be discussing his receptions prop, Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer, detecting a pretty big edge here for Mr. Jalen Waddle with a 4.5 number. We got minus 139 on the over, minus 132 on FanDuel, minus 132 on DraftKings, all favoriting the over with a 3.32% edge. Once again, guys, we're taking the over. We don't care if we're taking the overs or the unders on this channel. All we care about is we're taking the side of the prop with an edge that has a higher chance of winning, and we're getting a good price. We should be having to pay with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 data points calculated into one number here, thanks to the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer telling us we should be having to pay minus 133 on average across all those data points. We are paying minus 122. We should be having to risk $133 to win 100. We're only having to risk 122 to win 100 in a 3-pick power entry. So we are not only taking the side of the prop that is more likely to win, but we're also getting a good price, so that if Jalen Waddle goes out there and gets hurt, something bad happens, he has a bad game, etc., etc., long term, we're not getting ripped off on price. We're getting a steal, so that when we get screwed over, because that does happen. If you watched my last video, Tyler Conklin, Quentin Johnston absolutely crushed the receiving yards prop. Xavier Worthy got hurt in the first play. So we were well on our way to a 3-pick sweep. We got screwed. And unfortunately, we had two players on the same team, so we didn't even get the 3x with the 2 picks correct. We just got refunded, which stinks, but you can't predict that stuff. So that's why we want to get the best price. We want to be finding profitable plays. This is what's going into the process. We want to be using this multi-million-dollar sportsbook data. It's the same process that went into these 3 plays, all greened out in my first video, my last video prior to the NFL season starting here with the MLB and the WNBA. It's the same process. It's the same process that's going into, my play of the day that I'm leaking over on X when I'm saying, oh, this is a massive edge. Get this in. You see the results. So this is what we're looking to find here. We're looking to find plays with an edge. Once again, Mr. Jalen Waddle, the over 4.5 receptions. And, do we want to bring in more data points? Do we want to get more detail-oriented on this channel? Of course we do. We can head on over to Outlier. Once again, these people that are saying, what do you do for research as far as statistics are concerned? Well, Outlier is the tool for you because not only do they bring in the multi-million-dollar sportsbook data that I'm constantly talking about, we have the under selected here. We don't want the under. We're going to go to the over. We want the over 4.5. We'll go to done. We'll select that. You can see, once again, guys, they have all of these places that are listing it. Minus 130, minus 130, minus 132, etc. on DraftKings. All these places are charging a higher price than the minus 122 we're getting on Prizepicks. You can go to the insights. You can go to the matchup overall against Indianapolis. This is another example of the multi-million-dollar sportsbooks knowing the matchup. The Colts are a good matchup. They're giving up 22.2 receptions per game. That's 23rd in the NFL. They're not a good secondary. We go to the wide receiver position. They're giving up 11.9 receptions per game. We only need this man to go out there and get 5 for us in this matchup, right? So it makes sense. And then you can look at the target share. You can look at all this stuff using the outlier tools. But just keep in mind injuries and all that stuff. Jalen Waddle's a guy that has a history of getting injured. Let's hope he doesn't get injured on week 1 because we need him to get at least 5 catches. But some really good value. You get the point. The matchup is there. The Colts have given up a lot of receptions overall. The data's there. These companies know this. I'm going to continue to say it. Like Pinnacle is known as, a very smart sports book that takes millions of dollars from winning sports bettors. So people that have bet millions of dollars and have shown over time, I'm smart, I win, are taking the over and making these lines change. The reason there's minus 139, you're going to have to risk 139 to 100 on the over is because there are smart individuals logging into Pinnacle Sportsbook and taking the over 4.5 on Jalen Waddle. Maybe it was at like minus 110 and then it goes up to minus 120, minus 130, then minus 140. So we want to get the play in as soon as possible before Prizepicks can change it. Okay? So that's what I teach. That's what I preach. That's what's going to go into finding profitable plays. And then if we want to head over, once again, let's pull up the OddsJam Sportsbook screen. Why not? Like I say, people pay me to find the very best plays. I want to be looking at as much data as possible. I want to be making sure that I'm getting the best plays possible. Let's look at where Jalen Waddle's listed over here. Waddle. We got the Miami game at 1 o'clock. Let's go down. See all these different player props, guys? Like, look at this is just millions and millions of dollars of data on your screen, man. You can get a discount with my link down below, but this is the amount of detail and data that goes into each and every single prop. It's really ridiculous. Minus 139 on the over on Pinnacle. I already talked about that, but minus 132, minus 132, minus 130, minus 139 over here on Bally Bet. They're only allowing you to take the over. You can't even take the under. Minus 141 on Bet Rivers. He's up to 5.5 on Fanatics with minus 110 on the 210 on the under. So they're listing him an entire reception higher. Now he is aggressively favored on the under, but that's a big deal because we're getting the 4.5 number. Like, this is crazy. Minus 130, minus 130, minus 130, minus 139, minus 140, etc., etc., etc. Minus 130.9 average odds across the entire market. We should be having to pay, with all of that data, minus 130 odds at least. We are paying minus 122 in a 3-pick power. We are getting a steal. And then last but certainly not least, we're going to talk about some kicker action for this 3rd pick. Everybody loves, taking kicker props. They're nice and exciting, right? Denver Broncos taking on the Tennessee Titans. Another example of Vegas knowing everything because Will Lutz is going to be favored on the over on his kicking points here. He is the kicker for the Denver Broncos. They do have a 25.5 implied team total, so they're expected to put up a lot of points. If you are going to bet the Denver Broncos to win this game, you're going to have to risk $395 to win $100. They are minus 395 favorites. This same concept I'm talking about throughout this video with props also applies to, if you're going to take a team to win. The Broncos are minus 395. They're expected to absolutely kill the Tennessee Titans in week 1, essentially. I mean, it's a touchdown, but minus 395, that's a big price to pay. So they're really expected to win this ball game here. And if they do, they should score plenty of touchdowns. They should get plenty of field goals. They should score plenty of points, which should lead to Mr. Will Lutz, their kicker, going over his kicking points. Let's bring in Mr. Lutz into the Daily Grind Fantasy Optimizer. We're going to see once again, guys, we've got a 2.99% edge. We have a 2.99% higher chance of winning, but he's aggressively favored here. Minus 130 or greater on all of these books. 138 on FanDuel, 133 on DraftKings, 135 on Flip, 140 on Hot Streak. Like, that's crazy. Yes, please. I want to sign up for that. Please, Mr. Lutz, go over your kicking points. Let's head on over to Outlier. Let's look at some more underlying metrics. Let's go to the prop section. Let's type in Will Lutz. Let's see what they got here. You can see, you can sort this by implied probability in this row too. That same concept that I talk about of how often, they're going to win the prop. There's a 54% chance on the over here with all the data they have brought in on the over 7.5. We'll bring in Mr. Will Lutz. We can look at overall kicking points against Tennessee. They're 10th overall. But once again, I want to be looking at this multi-million-dollar sportsbook data. And you're going to see, once again, guys, we got minus 130 on BetMGM, minus 130 on Hard Rock Bet, minus 133 DraftKings, minus 138 FanDuel. All of these other books are charging a higher price. Let's go ahead on over to the OddsJam Sportsbook screen. As always, let's go ahead and look at our kicking points. What other books are charging? What are other books charging to take the over? It's going to be a high price. I'm here to tell you that's what I do here on the channel. I find profitable plays backed by multi-million-dollar sportsbook data. You can see average odds. Once again, I have 292 sportsbooks selected. Minus 134.8 on the over. That's kind of crazy. Minus 138, minus 133, minus 143, minus 143, minus 149, minus 143, minus 143, minus 143, minus 143, minus 143, minus 143. Tons of books. Charging upwards of minus 140. We are getting, if you forgot, minus 122 and a 3-pick power. That's going to be our third and final play, guys. You'll head on over to the Prizepicks board. We talked about Nick Bosa. We talked about Jalen Waddle for the receptions. So that'll be our second play. You'll head to the receptions tab here. They got all of these different props you can be taking. And you'll go down to Mr. Jalen Waddle. We'll be taking his over 4.5 for the second prop on the Prizepicks board. And for the third prop, we'll be going to the kicking points tab. You can see kicking points, and we'll be going to Mr. Will Lutz of the Denver Broncos, and we'll be taking his over. So we got 3 overs in this one. Once again, I don't care if I'm taking an over or an under. All I care about is I'm taking the side of the prop that's most likely to win. It just so happens we have overs in this video. I don't care whether it's an over or an under. All I care about is the fact that we're getting the best possible odds to win. And keep in mind, you do have this Lamar Jackson free square. So if Prizepicks wants to go ahead and move these props on me, you can take advantage of that. This is the first play I did offer in my premium Discord. You can get 25% off my premium Discord, where you get access to these optimal premium profitable plays every single day, instantaneously. 25% off through midnight of Monday. And you can see on my screen here, I'll pull up the actual ticket that I did send over. This is it. It's the Nick Bosa over 3.5 tackles and assists, Jalen Waddle over 4.5 receptions, and Will Lutz over 7.5 kicking points. Those are the 3 plays in this video for the free content. I'm hoping they don't change them on you guys, but if they do, once again, you got the Lamar Jackson free square, and you can get in the Discord. You can get 7 days completely free with the launch off member package, but I do also have 25% off, man, through Monday. So just keep in mind, take advantage of these discounts. And then I do just like to make sure that the plays are still available before I head out the door, and they are. I go to the Prizepicks board and just make sure they're still listed. Nick Bosa over 2.5 tackles and assists, Jalen Waddle over 4.5 receptions, Will Lutz over 7.5 kicking points, the Lamar Jackson free square are going to be our go-to for props for this week 1 matchup. Once again, Prizepicks, guys, they'll give you $50 instantly when you play your first $5 with my link down below. And if you are in the premium, I don't know what you're doing. And if you aren't following me on X, I don't know what you're doing. I'm going to continue to try to give out free plays. I know it's only like 1 play, my play of the day, but it's something that my premium members love. And it gives me an opportunity to send out, a really great Prizepicks play that you can put in your slips and break down the process. That 4.01% edge yesterday on the Herbert one. We had a great massive edge on the other one the other night with the Jalen Hurts and the Saquon Barkley, the 4.34%. Both those props absolutely crushed. Quentin Johnston was my cover boy for the last video. He absolutely crushed for us. So Overall, things have been going pretty good. We're looking to get the 3 out of 3 sweep in this one. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell on your way at the door. Thanks for tuning in. Wishing you all the best of luck on your NFL player props for week 1, and we will see you in the next one.